Turns out the Avs, who are very, very good at real hockey, are still very, very bad at fake hockey. And even though the 3-on-3 overtime was an absolute delight this evening, late at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, nearly midnight local time when that game ended, the Avs do fall in a shootout, a bizarre shootout loss that we'll get to momentarily as we open up between the pipes here. However, with under 10 seconds to go on the power play, Cale Makar scores his first power play goal of the year, and the situation in which the Avalanche were basically guaranteed 0 points on the road at the worst team in the NHL, statistically, points-wise. They grab a point on the road, coming home, 5 of a possible 8 on the 4-game road trip, and they return home from a 2-game homestand that starts on Thursday against the Florida Panthers. Spring.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say about this, as it looked like they were going to lose, and then all of a sudden maybe they weren't going to lose because Cale Makar scores in a 6-on-4. Hey, can they just pull the goalie on every power play? 6-on-4, every power play. I don't care. You get slashed 2 minutes into the game. It's 19:58 remaining in the first period.
6-on-4, baby.
Pull the goalie.
Yeah.
6-on-4. Rest of the season. Because it's not great. And, you thought that the power play, or the lack thereof on the power play, was going to cost the Avs at least a point in this game. Well, it ultimately did get them a point. And here's what I was going to say. Okay, here's the thing. All right. And what sucks about this is that Dallas is doing a thing right now.
Dallas is doing what you're doing. They're winning hockey games.
Now they can't lose. They've won 4 in a row. And it makes a loss like this hurt, even though, look, Nashville, are they good? No. But they're largely healthy. Like Ryan O'Reilly, he scores the shootout winner. He's a great fucking player. Forsberg, who crashes into Wedgwood, is a good player. Yossi's out there. UC Saros was tremendous. UC Saros.
And he's been horrendous this year. He has been so very bad this year. Dude, if Nashville played like they did tonight against Colorado, as hard as they played against Colorado, and they were Gordy go hard tonight, they would not be in last place in the league.
No, and there have been, Yossi has missed some games. Nashville, when they're healthy, they're like an 8-seed team. They're really not the worst team in the league. So yeah, on their ice, and they talked about it on the broadcast tonight, on the Altitude broadcast. It does seem like every time that the Avs play at Bridgestone Arena, it's a close, weird game.
Weird is right, man. It is always bizarre, whether water mains are breaking or guys are having COVID tests that come positive somehow in between pregame warmups and when the puck is supposed to drop. Philip Forsberg crashing into his former teammate in the shootout and having to be removed after Wedgwood sees a second shooter. Like, it's always a weird fucking game. And the ice always sucks at Bridgestone Arena. You saw Philip Forsberg toe pick. You saw Marty Necas nearly toe pick on his shootout opportunity. The ice in Nashville is a goddamn
Did you see?
travesty.
I could tell how much ice was piled up on the end boards from the quick shoveling that they could do between the extra frames. Like, you could see the buildup. Like, it was noticeable.
Dude, when I coached out there for years, we would always go out at least once or twice, because the Junior Predators program, both at the AAA, the AA, and the girls level, it's a really well-run organization. The ice in the youth game sucks too. Like, it's just Tennessee and hockey in terms of the ice quality. Dude, it don't mix.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What was the weather today in Nashville? It's, southern-ish. It's pretty nice here in Denver this week. Global warming. Chalk it up. That's why the Avs lost
I guess we'll put it on that one, man. It was a fun hockey game. Nashville obviously gets scored on early. Beautiful toe drag from Brock Nelson, who is doing his very best to convince Bill Guerin that he should be on Team USA for the Olympics, and he is red hot right now. He's got 11 points in his last 11 games, including 6 goals. He has that beautiful toey. Nashville jumps back with two quick ones within a minute of each other. Colorado gets a gorgeous rebound goal from Arturi Lehkonen after a really good back pressure play from Nathan McKinnon at the top side of the Nashville zone. And then we play scoreless hockey until the early part of the third, rather the mid part of the third period. And this weird little wounded duck of a shot from Brady Shea somehow bounces in off the post. And at that point, Spring, you're going, holy crap, they're going to get 0 points against the
Yeah.
last place team in the league.
Those are the types of goals you see him scored throughout the league where you just kind of know it's one team's night. I remember a few years ago the then Arizona Coyotes scored a similar goal on Colorado in maybe it was even Mullet Arena at the time. And it was just like, it's their night. You know, when you're scoring goals like
Right.
that, it's just your night. And, I mean, keep in mind, they still have 2 regulation losses. This loss, you chalk this up to, hey, that is a decent Nashville team and all of that jazz, if not for Dallas being right on your heels. If not for that, like you still have 2 regulation losses. This is your 7th loss. 7th, I believe. Yeah, 7th loss after regulation this season.
8. I thought it was 6. Is it 7 now? Oh yeah, it's 7.
Yeah, it's up to 7. Right. It's up to 7. Which, hey, look, St. Louis has 7. The Knights have 9.
Like Dallas has 5.
The Kings have 7. The Penguins, who are playing fairly well. In fact, I mean, this is the thing. Speaking of Pittsburgh, the other night, Pittsburgh is up 2-1 with like 2 minutes to go in Dallas. And Dallas fucking scores and then wins in overtime. Yeah. And it's just like, that's how it's going right now. And maybe, look, it's a long 82-game season. Maybe Dallas will get their turn as the top team in the NHL. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, We'll see how they handle it. Maybe it's back and forth where Colorado has a week and then Dallas has a week and then it's this and then it's that. I'm telling you, like Dallas they've won 4. It's only 4 in a row that they've won. They had a sleepy start to the season, then they picked it the hell up. The Avs goal differential is about 20 north of Dallas's, but I do believe Colorado's the better team. I think Dallas will drop some, just like Colorado dropped to the Islanders in Nashville. You look at the 4-game road trip overall, 2-1-1, over 500. I know Nashville's record isn't great, but like I said, they're healthy. There's good players out there. They're better than their record when they're healthy. They've actually won 5 of their last 7 now. Has Nashville?
They have now jumped over Vancouver in terms of last place in the league and are currently sitting 5 points, so 2.5 wins outside of the 8th seed in the Western Conference.
I was thinking about this, as the game was winding down. Rank the 4 teams. Rangers 1, Islanders 2.
Oh, I disagree. Flip those 2 teams.
You think Islanders 1?
I think they're a better hockey team.
I think New York's talent, the Rangers, they're both New York. Isn't it
funny when you think paper. New York, you only think Rangers?
You think the Rangers.
If you were to say New York's talent and you're talking about those 2 teams, I would always think you're talking about the Blue Shirts.
Yeah, no, I think the Islanders are damn good. We talked about it. Adding Matthew Schaefer, Patrick Waugh's doing a good job. I'll go Rangers 1. If you want to go Islanders 2, that's fine. I'm not going to but for me, I'll go Rangers 1, Islanders 2, Flyers 3, Predators 4. So for me, you beat the best team, lost to the second worst team, beat the third best team, got a point, lost to the 4th best team. Look, 4-game road trips are tough. This league is tough. 2-1-1. Honestly, if you're realistic about it, passing grade. Not what you wanted, but passing grade.
If you were to throw that into an Excel sheet and get a probability out of it at the beginning of the year, 2-1-1 is probably your baseline, like your wins above replacement Mendoza line type of thing. Is that if you go 2-1-1, that is it's a good, not great, but you'll take it any day of the week. If you'd gotten the extra point to make it 6 out of 8, that is a B. If you get 7 or 8 out of 8, that's an A and an A plus. Anything south of the 5 out of 8, you go, what went wrong? So I think it was a very good um baseline performance if you were to do
Yeah.
this at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Now everything with the Avalanche, because of how hot they've been, because of how dominant they have been, and that is true. Like there's no two ways to go about it. They have been dominant this year on both sides of the puck. Um because they've been so good, we now, and I'm cool with this. I always have been. We now get to move the goalposts every single time they go out onto the ice, and you become Pete Rose going, why would you ever bet against them?
Yeah, if you're looking at it, from the start of the season to what realistic expectations were, good road trip based on how they've been playing, best team in the league, dominating every statistical, analytical category, maybe a tick of a disappointment. And
Sure.
that's how high the bar. That's how high the bar they set for themselves. Um, I choose to view it as the former. I really do, because this is a tough league. 4-game road trips are no joke, no matter who you are. We talked about at the start of the road trip that this was game 4. Um, and those are the toughest ones. I don't care if it's a 7-game road trip. I don't care if it's a 4-game road trip. When you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you've been on the road for a hot second, the final one is always the toughest. And also, this was Scott Wedgwood's first start in a week or so, just over a week. Um, I think one of the goals he allows early is he's a little sporadic, and that should be expected, actually, and how's his back going to respond? He's probably thinking about that, man, when you get old like me, I don't look old, and that back flares up, you're thinking about that. Like, oh shit, is this going to tweak again? Like, am I really good to go? So there's that. Let's see. I wanted to pull up one of the comments here in the chat, and I think we just got another one calling out another player, because we love to call out players. That's what everyone does. That's what we do. Vinny says Victor Olofsson is a ghost, man. Vinny also just said Sammy G has been meh. I will
I
say,
can
yeah, Sam Girard has not produced much. Very odd. Very
Yeah,
odd.
I do agree. I didn't think Gerard was bad tonight, but I thought it was a game in which he could have taken advantage of the neutral zone, and he didn't. And if Gerard doesn't take advantage of the neutral zone, you then look at Sam Gerard and go, what good are you? Right? Because he's an elite skater. And in terms of taking free ice, that is one thing that if you don't watch the game from the defensive side out, you won't appreciate of him. But he does a very, very good job of lugging those pucks, taking free ice, and then moving. I didn't think he was particularly good on his feet this evening, and therefore I look at Sam and I go, "Well, what good were you tonight?" Now, the other Sam who was playing with him tonight, Sam Malinsky, he at least gives you some offensive firepower. Every time he fires the puck, it's north of 90 miles an hour. It's a dangerous shot. He had that little shot pass at the end of the third period. It was either the third period or overtime that Malinsky had that little low shot, that snapshot that could have created something really good. Gerard's not going to be a driver of offense. He will be a driver of exits in the defensive zone. So I don't think he was good tonight. I would agree with the Olofsson thing. The reason why you're not seeing much out of Victor Olofsson is because he's been removed from the power play and removed from the top 6.
Yeah, with Gerard, he had a moment tonight where he did like a kind of tornadish play near the blue line, on the verge of creating something, then shot up or sent a puck down low that got blocked, and nothing came of it. Olofsson was out there in overtime. They gave him a look in the 3-on-3. I think you're right. He was thriving, playing on that second line and on the right wing on the power play. And that's actually something I might want to touch on here in a second. I do think tonight, And it is again, Nashville's a weaker team, but they're pretty healthy. You look at like I don't think any key players are missing for them, and there are some solid players out there. So you miss a Gavin Brindley who did not go tonight, who could have.
He's
He was
knocking on the door.
activated off IR. Seems like he's playing next game. I'd imagine next game Gavin Brindley's playing. You miss Logan O'Connor. The fourth line, man, like the fourth line comes up huge in the Garden against the Rangers. Damn near nothing tonight. Like I noticed a moment or two where Parker Kelly had the puck, and that was about it. I thought this was not a great Val Nichushkin game. Not very noticeable for me. Only had one shot on goal. Now he was noticeable in overtime. Then he was out there in overtime and he got a shootout look. But, if Val's not, botting dudes up and pushing the pace on that second line, then that hurts. But it's one game. But they do miss a Gavin Brindley and even a Logan O'Connor. And tonight was a night that showed that.
Yeah, certainly. And when those guys get back in the lineup, I believe that you may see a little bit more of an uptick in Olofsson's, at least maybe not his production, but him looking dangerous once again. He's had a couple of opportunities this evening in terms of his shots. He sent a snapshot that went whistling past the right ear of Saros in the third period that was pretty dangerous. In the overtime period, you mentioned that he got put out there. The one opportunity he had was a weird pass that got kind of shoved up his hoop, and he wasn't able to either realize he needed to take it directly through his legs or he needed to just skate into it. He got caught in that weird no man's land of like, oh, do I try and receive or do I wait for it to pass me and just skate into it in the open spot? Therefore, he didn't have the opportunity to go down one-on-one on a Nashville defenseman who was already turning. I remember myself throwing my pen at that point, going, you like, he kind of screwed it up with a minute to go. um I still think he has been a really good signing for the money,
Yeah, considering the value for sure. For
without a
sure.
doubt.
I thought Taves had a couple good looks to score. And he only has the one goal on the year. It was that type of night where somehow just UC Saros was able to make the big plays. And then speaking of overtime as well, Nathan McKinnon had a great play in overtime
Yep, his final shift.
where it was actually Nichushkin who circled out of the zone, and then he fed it to McKinnon, who was so patient. And then McKinnon ended up getting a very good look on net, but wasn't able to score. That might have been the difference in the game right there. Just, all of the obviously everything that happens beforehand, but when it comes down to that moment, 3-3 game overtime. And then how about who's this fucking dude for Nashville?
Oh, the kid who did he tow Kale? Was it
Yeah,
Kale?
what a play.
Dude, he walked Kale like a dog.
Oh my God, who is this guy? This is a defenseman, Adam Wilsby.
Yeah, it was nasty. That was
What
sick.
a play.
So cool. And it would have been the most Nashville Predators thing ever for a dude who has one career goal to dangle Cale Makar into the next time zone and then end the game. It would have been the most Bridgestone Arena thing ever to happen. I'm so happy that the games you play against them don't really matter this year, but I don't know, man. I'm happy with the result this evening. If you told me they only got 1 point going into the game, I'd be disappointed. But knowing they got scored on in a super deflating goal where the power play just before that had been very disappointing. People were upset about the power play. They go 1 for 4, which, by the way, guys, is an improvement on what they are this season. So 25%, you better be really excited about, even if it needs the extra man at 6-on-4. I thought the first two power plays of the game were good. They just shot. And I thought the net front presence was very good. They're trying new things. The first two power plays of the game was just shoot pucks at the net and hope something good happens, which, honestly, it's a change from the passing regatta that we've gotten used to this year. The third power play was god awful. And the fourth one was good, but it was a two-man advantage.
It was a two-man advantage, and that helps create a little more space for Kale McCarr at the point, who does have a nice little deke fake. I'm moving one way. No, I'm moving the other way, which gives him a little opening to shoot. But what you notice is it's Lehkonen, it's Landeskog, 1-2, direct line in front of Saros, creating a screen that allows the Makar shot to get through. They need to do more of that. I'm really trying to figure out what is going on with this power play.
More
Eh,
shots from Kale at the top, dude.
Yeah, I think that's a great starting point. I'm and I alluded to this a few minutes ago, talking about Olofsson and how he was on the power play. And it's just a theory because I have no idea. I honestly don't, because I like the setup. So the only thing I can come up with is it the Natchez right-handed shot on the right wing?
Could be.
Should they put a left-handed shot a la Olofsson over there? I don't know what it
I don't
is.
think they need to put a left-handed shot there. They need to put a facilitator over there. And
Do
who
they
is
need
that
to
player? Who's
rotate?
the facilitator? I would put Brock Nelson over there. That's a
Hey,
left-handed
one, he's
player,
a
and he's
left-handed
a puck.
shot, and yes, he's a
Right.
good facilitator. Do they need to rotate more? But I don't necessarily. I want, like, because we see the results of the power play goal they score. Yes, it's a 6-on-4, but Lehkonen, Landeskog, traffic, high to low in front. Do they need to be rotating more? Natchez is on the right wing, McKinnon's on the left wing, McCarr's at the point. Do they need to kind of rotate those three more based on the play? Maybe McCarr occupies right wing. Maybe McKinnon goes high. Maybe Natchez goes left, just based on
Okay, the
where
the
the play
McKinnon
takes them.
the McKinnon thing up high is intriguing, but it is very high risk, high reward. Now, McKinnon's one of the best puck handlers in the league, but he can often chop that thing up to bits. And when he gets in those fits where he knows he's better than you, right? So if he can find a way to stick handle through your triangle as a defender, he's going to do it, because once you do that and you leave a guy on roller skates, you're in grade A scoring opportunity. But the risk reward is that he has to go through a triangle and he's moving away from his own net. Nathan McKinnon moving away from his own net. And instead of doing that on the half wall, where you have an extra 10 to 15 feet in between you and the blue line, he's doing it at the top of the blue line where he might have 2 feet of space. And if he loses a puck there, if he dusts it off too many times and he loses possession, or if there's a poke check and Nate is going down ice, it's breakaway central. Now,
True.
the risk reward is that if he makes those moves properly, you have one of the best shooters, if not the best hockey player in the world, walking down Main Street. And if you don't go to the best player in the world when he's walking down the slot, he's going to score more times than not. And if you do, that opens up the opportunities to, like, sweep a puck out to Cale Makar on a one time, or move it to his strong side for either Landeskog or Nelson over there. It's a huge risk reward, but I have these nightmare situations in my head of, like, Nate playing with the puck at the top and trying to go back across his body, and then Colorado gives up a breakaway and you get scored on shorthanded.
Yeah, no, I feel every bit of that. And that's just one possible rotational scenario. And hell, as much as I love Landeskog net front, and I do like Lehkonen in that bumper, and I wish the results were better, they should be better. Like, that's the setup. Overall rotation, but still keeping that structure of like a 3-line center with one wing, but we're just always rotating. We're always occupying a spot. I don't know. I don't know. Like, again, I wish, like I preface this with, I wish I had the answer. I wish I had. I'm throwing shit against the wall, is what I'm
Everyone
doing.
is. Everyone is at this
Yeah.
point. Again, I still think 75% of the power plays tonight were thumbs up from me, because they were trying new things. They were getting pucks to the net and they were utilizing Gabe Landeskog in front. You don't score that goal to go up 6-4 without Gabe. You don't. You
No.
simply don't. You also don't score it without an awesome head fake from Cale Makar at the top. Like that little
Yeah.
pump fake that he throws in there, the puck doesn't get through if he doesn't do it.
Yep. Yeah, I thought Gabe had a good I think this might have been just before a puck stoppage, but Gabe had a really good win of a puck that was kind of like the play was kind of faltering.
Yeah, it was on Soros's blocker side corner or blocker side half wall.
Like
It
I
was
think
really
maybe
good.
Nelson was trying to keep that puck in, but kind of was slipping on a banana. And then Gabe came over and was very clean and kept the puck alive. And it sucks, man. For as weird as that shootout was, the last shooter was Gabe Landeskog. And there was a part of me that was like, this is it. Like, this is all 3 years, and he's getting back into form. And they didn't score a single shootout goal. They went Natchez, Nichushkin, Landeskog. Natchez did not go with a move similar to what he went with a few games ago where he did score. Nichushkin did not go with a move that we saw him score with a couple years ago, year or two ago. Both those Natchez and Nichushkin moves were more kind of like get it real close and then last second move. They both kind of went with that snapshot in the slot move. Landeskog tried to pull him out wide, but Saros didn't flinch. They lack that. But we saw it from Natchez a few games ago. You need that move. And they don't have the move.
No, they don't have the move at all. They suck in the shootout. And you know what? They practice the things that matter, real hockey. And
Yeah.
no, it's not going to happen in the postseason. You're not going to go to a shootout. You might have a penalty shot, but those are once in a blue moon, especially in the postseason. You're not going to go to a shootout. You're not going to have to play 3-on-3 overtime. But the Avs, hey, don't look now. The Avs are playing better at 3-on-3 overtime.
They are. They're taking it more seriously. You're not seeing Nathan McKinnon give up on plays in 3-on-3 overtime. Can you call a penalty in a shootout? Forsberg running into that's goaltender interference.
You can disallow a goal, but no, you cannot call a penalty, and you cannot.
Well, so then you can just ditch the puck and truck the goaltender, and just make a business decision.
Yes, you can. I think you'd probably hear from the league office. But yes, you can do that if you choose to. Now, Philip Forsberg was very clearly like apologetic. That was nowhere.
It was obviously not intentional.
It was,
but it was
misstep.
Reckless. I mean, you are in charge of your own body, and if that's an on ice play, if that's a regulation play, that's goaltender interference.
Yes, if that is a breakaway in a game, that's 2 minutes. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder if there can be some sort of
Guru's got it. It's the rough Kucherov move. It's the no shot, but you just take the goaltender's head off while you do
it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Spring, is it too early to start talking about trade deadline guys that I want?
No, it's not. I mean, I was, my concern coming into this, where would you target? Let me ask you that. What would you target if you were looking what this team needs?
Bottom pair defenseman.
See, mine would be more like middle six forward.
Do you feel that way because you haven't seen the Avs fully healthy at forward yet?
Well, and yeah, then like I said, Gavin Brindley, I think, has maybe earned his way into that role. Even Logan O'Connor is certainly a third line player. So yeah, maybe that's the thing. But I've said all season long that I think they're really stout 1 through 6 defensively. But look, yeah, Sam Girard he's had moments. I'm actually surprised. This is like the weakest he's played since he was hurt earlier this season, right? Sam was hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. Since he's come back, he's had a couple moments. Because I remember when Sam was out, I was like, he would control the puck. He would slow the play down. Man, this is the first time, and I'm never this guy in Sam Girard's tenure where I am kind of wondering, like, what is going on? You're not really impactful right now.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to move him in a trade for a bigger piece, right? Like a big time, big money player. Like, I don't know if you want Steven Stamkos. Like, Nashville came out today and said that they want a first and a grade A prospect for Ryan O'Reilly, which is a goddamn joke. And you know what it probably is they're getting ahead of it. They're like, if you want him for a full season, which is essentially like if you were to trade for him now, it'd be a full year of Ryan O'Reilly. I'm not trading a first and a grade A prospect for Ryan O'Reilly. I'm not doing it. But if you wanted a guy that carries that type of cap hit or has that type of historic cachet to him, it's going to cost a player with salary. And Gerard could be one of those guys that goes the other way to make room money wise. Now, what you would have to do in that situation, if it's a team that is not looking for a undersized defenseman who is very good at moving pucks and is a very cost controllable asset, $5 million, it ain't anything in the new future of this league. If that team is not looking for that player, you're probably going to have to add a sweetener in, which is likely going to be a pick or a condition on top of a pick. I'm okay with that. You'd have to get a defenseman back in this deal. Now, I don't know who that defenseman would be. You need another left-handed shot, and there really aren't that many left-handed shooting defensemen on the market, especially ones that fill the need that you want. I don't necessarily need like a big screw you tough guy defenseman because he doesn't really fit in the Avs system. I do want range and I want length. It was kind of when I was talking about Seth Jones last year, Seth is not a physical defenseman. He really isn't. Like, doesn't go after guys. He's very similar to Brent Burns. Brent Burns isn't a physical defenseman. Now, he hits a guy when he needs to, but he is rangy and long and takes away opportunities. I'm looking for that type of player.
Yeah, I think you look, if you're gonna make a trade right now, and they will, because as I've talked about this for a while. I don't know if it's going to be massive. At the very least, there will be one or two or even three minor ones. They always do. There's always an arms race. There's always moves made, and the Avs will make at least one. The guy who has money that matches is Gerard. Now, but we are talking about right now, a third pair D man, which is very important. Don't get me wrong, especially when the playoffs come around. Like every minute, every second of ice time matters, and your 6D man is part of that. Okay, you don't want your fucking Calvin DeHaans of the world out there. When this is big boy, when we're trying to win a cup, right? So I don't want to take like any sort of a hit at 6D. But I'm not necessarily thinking and part of my thinking here is that look, Sam Malinsky's played very well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got your top D pair, which is what it is. It's excellent. The Manson Burns pair is very good. So we are talking about one D man. I think you could move Gerard because he's a $5 million cap hit and a pick or something, a prospect, a decent prospect, something of that nature, in some sort of a 2-for-1 where you are adding a forward and a defenseman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think you need this like to expect this world burner of a left shot D to come in on your 6D pair. You just need somebody who's, I don't want to say serviceable, I'll say very serviceable, like someone who's reliable. But you don't need someone who's, like, oh my God, you got this fucking guy. He's going to be on your fucking third D pair.
I mean, but look at what Florida did with Seth Jones. Like they swung for the fences, and Seth is not he's not a top D pairing for them.
But he's also very pricey. I mean, it was like a $9 million cap hit, like those guys of the world. And especially if they have term to them, you got to pay McCarr.
Yeah, term is big time.
I mean, if you want to go all in and get someone like that who's on an expiring contract, okay.
What's Morgan Riley's deal right now? Is he expiring? Do you have Puckpedia in front of you?
I can pull it up real
He's
quick.
not a good defender, but he's still a pretty good skater. Probably needs a change of scenery.
Looks like he's
Toronto
based on my
sucks
early
right now.
returns. He's got term on him.
Oh, I really hope it's not long. Tell me it's not long.
Oh, it's long. It's through the 29-30 season.
Oh yeah, never mind. I don't
At
want
seven
any
and a
piece of
half.
Morgan Riley.
He's
I
two and a
don't want
half
any
more
piece of
million
Morgan
dollars
Riley.
expensive than Gerard. And like you said, if he's not going to provide, because you really would on that third D pair. Look, I know I'm talking about Gerard maybe not impacting the game offensively, but Malinsky can do that. So maybe for what Gerard lacks defense, maybe you just shore up there and you just go for some big nasty dude who is responsible, who's not going to turn the puck over, and you rely on Malinsky to be more of your creator. If Sam's not, because that's what if Sam's not going to do that, that's what he does, and he's not doing it.
You know who's not really good at all right now and might need a change of scenery and is a I have my trade target, Spring, and I
Okay,
don't think he's going to cost you a lot of money. I want Jamie Alexiak.
Kraken.
Big motherfucking left-handed
Look,
defenseman who will be your
I've looked at
sixth.
his, that name has popped on my radar in recent years because his contract has always been in that cheaper and shorter term wheelhouse, and he's a big motherfucker.
It's $4.5 million. He has not been very good at all for the last 3 years. And that's the reason why he's my trade target, because I don't think that he's going to cost all that much. Now I see Pants Party on Twitch is saying that Seattle is a playoff team. I don't know if Seattle's a playoff team. Right now, they are they in a spot? They are. No, they're on the outside looking in. Seattle's got 28 points. They're a playoff team. What are you talking about? What
Yeah,
are you
I
talking about?
honestly, the Kraken to me, they've lost 6 straight. I don't think they will make the playoffs.
Like, who's their best player? Jordan Eberle? Jordan Eberle was good in
Beniers, I don't
2009.
even know if Beniers is even having that great of a year. They were hot for like a week and then they cooled the hell off.
That's my guy. Expiring contract, $4.5 million, 6'6", 235 pounds ish. That's off the top of my head. I'm not looking at it right now. I think that's how big Alexiak is. He has been not good the last couple of years. Um, I would, I'd take a peek at that guy. I think you could kick the tires on that type of player, and he would, because then you have three defensemen. Look at your 3D. Then your 3D are Manson, Burns, Alexiak. And then you have three really good puck movers. Four.
Yeah, he's 6'7". He's huge. He's had a good career. He's $4.6 million. That's just 400,000 short of Gerard. So you're actually kind of looking at a 1-for-1 there.
Yeah, the trade's 1-for-1. You guys
Um,
want to do that? How's this? We'll go 1-for-1, Gerard for Alexiak, and we'll throw in a conditional second. If the
well, that
Avs
would
if
be
the
a heck
Avs
of
win the
a
West, here's the
stock
conditional
fall.
second.
That's a heck of a stock fall for Sam. I know that he's okay. Raj, I'll lean on you for this one. This guy's name has been floated in trade rumors because Alexiak has an extra year on his deal.
I thought he was expiring
He's
this
under
season.
contract. Actually, no, you're right. He is expiring.
Okay.
I'm living in the past, man. Time's flying by too quickly. I can't believe 2026 is right around the corner. You're right. Alexiak is expiring. Okay. So yeah, what about Rasmus Anderson? He's a right-handed shot with the Calgary Flames.
I don't want another right-handed shot. He is going to be the most sought after defenseman on the market, which means it's going to cost
Mm-hmm.
you a current player, a first or a
Okay.
second with a condition on it, and a top prospect. I don't think that the Avs have the arrows to get him. I also don't for what I want out of this defenseman to bring into the bottom six. Rasmus Anderson more or less is a top four player who is more offensive minded. And I don't think you need him, honestly. I think he's a good player. I don't think Colorado needs him.
Sure.
And
No,
certainly
and I
not for the
agree with
price.
that. I agree with that. Based on everything we've talked about. Shoot, Alexiak makes sense. Left-handed shot, big guy, kind of changes up the mindset. Gerard's much, 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 much smaller. You give up a lot defensively there. It makes sense. It does.
Yeah,
And you get out of the how many years does Gerard have left on his contract? It's a couple, right?
it's got to be at least another 2. Has to be at least another 2.
I think it's yeah. I think I'll confirm right here. He has one more. One
Oh,
more
okay.
year
That's actually not that bad.
after
Yeah,
this year.
all of his money goes to Cale Makar.
Again, yeah, exactly. But that frees up,
Here's the 5 million, Cale. Here's your 14. Thank you.
exactly.
We'll see you in 8
Exactly.
years when it's time for your next deal.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right,
So
Spring.
that goes to show, dude, that no matter what, next year is Sam Gerard's last year on the Avs. No matter what.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe Gulyayev comes over. He's having diminishing returns in his second year with Avangard in the KHL right now. Like he's playing less for some reason as a 19-year-old than he was as an 18-year-old. I don't understand what's going there. They need to get him to North America ASAP. I would look at that. The other guy that I really love that you're not going to be able to get because Montreal's building the right things, like Mike Matheson would be awesome. Mike
Mhm.
Matheson would be such a dope defenseman on this team. He'd be
Mhm.
another. He would be Devon Taves number 2.
Yeah. I mean, Pants Party just brought up Jake Sanderson. Like, no, the Senators are building something. They're not gonna.
Yeah,
You'd have
Sanderson
to give up so
and
much to get a guy like that.
Thomas Chabot are both young, under contract.
And you also have to
Ottawa would be dumb to move
consider,
those guys.
Kale's extension.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at expiring guys who are toward the end of their career or need a bump for their next contract. That's who you're looking at right now. You're not looking to take in a restricted free agent who's about to sign a $10 million deal. It's just not that's not the world you live in
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
It
guess what,
isn't.
Raj? The Avs still have 2 regulation losses on the season. It took their 7th overtime loss of the season after regulation loss of the season for us to delve into the trade market. We're
Heck
back,
yeah,
baby.
baby. We are back, man. All right. Avs lose. They'll be back at home on Thursday evening. Spring, I believe I will be on doing the show with you. Coach Sanford and I are headed out to Annapolis to go watch the Army Navy game, and we're going to be broadcasting live from Radio Row on Friday. So we'll be flying out Thursday afternoon. We should get in with plenty of time to do the show. So coming from a Sheridan in Baltimore, we will have Between the Pipes on Thursday after the Avs take on the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers.
Hey,
Spring,
Baltimore, Maryland, the hockey capital of the world.
you better believe it, man. All right, Avs losing a shootout, but they get a point and they maintain their lead on Dallas, their lead on the rest of the league. We'll talk to you guys on Thursday evening. For Spring, I'm Raj. It's Altitude. See you guys.